President Xi Jinping is expected in Cairo following his visit to Riyadh. CCTV's Adel Mahrouri is standing by for us in Cairo for the details. Adel, how are preparations coming along and what is on the agenda for President Xi's visit?
Well, the preparations are getting clearer every day as President Xi Jinping's arrival comes closer. He will be in Cairo tomorrow, and as you go along the main streets, the main road from the airport to the presidential palace for several days now have been decorated with Egypt and China's flags. And today in Egypt, there are about 4 events taking on all that has related to President Xi Jinping's visit. The first is the arrival of the Chinese cultural minister in Luxor, where President Xi Jinping will be going there to inaugurate a massive ceremony among the antiquities of the ancient Egyptians, the inauguration and the beginning of the Egyptian Chinese culture year. Throughout the year, there will be major programs between both countries to exchange cultural experience. That's one side. On the other hand, the Egyptian Authority for Books today and for 1 week is launching a campaign to promote Chinese books along within the bookstores across the country. They will hold their own fair to give an insight to Egyptian readers about specific Chinese books that will be among a huge collection displayed for the public. On the other hand, we've spoken to the Egyptian foreign minister who said that Egypt and China share a historic relationship, and he's looking forward to President Xi Jinping's visit.
The relationship between both countries is historic and it extends beyond our governments. Our people are friends. They share many characteristics. They come from 2 great ancient civilizations that had their share to enrich humanity. The ties were evident with China recognizing the will of Egyptians in June the 30th, 2013, and that was clear in the meetings between both presidents. In just 1 year, they've met almost 5 times.
So, Adel, what are Egyptians expecting from this visit?
Well, many are expecting stronger ties between both countries. To Egyptians, China is a strong friend, a historic friend that has always stood by Egypt in almost all of its hard times, particularly the political transition that came after the January Revolution. China has always supported the will of the Egyptian people in choosing their future and their political leadership. In the region itself, China's status, along with the Palestinian crisis, has become something of that gained a lot of admiration from Egyptians who want to see an independent Palestinian state, for example. So there are many points that Egyptians are looking forward to. The main, of course, is financial and economic cooperation in general between both countries. The volume of the economic ties between both China and Egypt is about $10 billion, where Egypt's share is nearly $1 billion of exports. China, of course, has the bigger share. So Egyptians want to see more cooperation. They trust any cooperation that happens with China, particularly if they would compare it with other Western countries. They see China giving whether loans or investing in Egypt without giving any political conditions, which makes Egyptians feel at ease in that regard. As for discussions between both presidents, there are a lot that will be on the table of discussions, from economic to political issues to be discussed at the same time. Of course, the main crises in the Middle East will be part and top the political discussions about the region and how Egypt and China could cooperate in establishing a peaceful and a more stable Middle East.
All right, Adel Mahrouri live in Cairo. Thank you, Adel.